In October, I had the chance to visit Knott's Berry Farm in Buena Park, California. This park has a very interesting history, and it's just a few minutes away from Disneyland. These things combine to make Knott's a very interesting park. So today, I want to share with you my thoughts on this park and some general tips and tricks to make your visit the best it can be. I don't even know where to start with this park. It seems like a long time ago they tried to make a theme park. And then when Disney may or may not have tried to buy it, the Knott family turned around and sold their berry farm to Cedar Fair. This means that it feels more like your typical regional amusement park, but it has a few things that make it more like a theme park. This makes Knott's a very unique park that has a good collection of rides to cater to guests of many different age groups. But sometimes it really feels like a Frankenstein where some well-themed areas are placed right next to tall thrill machines. It's just a weird place. Don't get me wrong, I really enjoyed my time there, but it's weird. So, planning your Knott's trip. If you're from out of town and you don't have long, that's okay. Knott's is a really small park. It sits in the middle of an LA suburb, and the actual dry park is like half a city block. Actually, it's less. So really, the fact that there's 10 decent roller coasters crammed in there is really impressive. But I can't really say there's enough there that it would take more than one day to do everything you want to do. It's a one-day park, not a destination resort. As for when you go, Knott's crowds largely feed off people who are taking a day out of their Disneyland or SoCal vacation, like me, to visit. So, at times when Disneyland is busy, like spring break and summer, so is Knott's. Going on a weekday in the off-season is a good bet, if at all possible, just to avoid waiting in long lines. Long lines are something you may want to be mildly concerned about, though. Knott's is a small park, so they don't get huge amount of visitors, but they know that. Some of their rides don't have the greatest capacity. I'm talking about Pony Express, Accelerator, and, of course, Ghost Rider. The key is to plan your day around this. If you get there at park opening, you probably should try to hit Ghost Rider first. Ghost Rider, by the way, is a must ride at Knott's Berry Farm. It's pretty smooth, so everyone should be able to enjoy it, and it is hands down the best wooden roller coaster I've ridden, probably the best one west of the Mississippi. The forces are absolutely incredible. It's fast, it's long, it's relentless. Don't miss this CCI. But it doesn't have very good capacity. I guess those 24-passenger GCI trains with seatbelts just don't really load quickly. And it's a popular ride, for good reason. So it gets some pretty solid lines. So try to get it at the start of the day, if you're there when the park opens. But also, I'd recommend getting a ride later in the day when it's warmed up. So do what you want. If you arrive a little later in the morning, start in the back corner, away from the crowds, and ride Accelerator and Coast Rider, and then work your way forward. Accelerator is also 100% a must ride if it's open. LSMs are great, but there's nothing like that hydraulic launch. This ride, though, also has poor capacity, so be aware. As for Coast Rider, endure the pain, get the credit, and move on. Or you could start in the other back corner with Pony Express, which has bad capacity but isn't as popular. It's really short, but it has a nice flywheel launch. It's not bad, just short. Anyway, there's not a ride at Knott's that you should skip altogether except maybe Coast Rider. The Calico Mine Ride is a nice, charming, and air-conditioned ride that gives you a nice, relaxing, and well-themed experience. The Calico Log Ride, right across the path, is also very well-themed and has a little thrill too, so don't miss out on that one. And Berry Tales is a fun ride where you use your berry blaster to help the Berry family recover their stolen pies at the county fair. I can't say the shooting experience was very good or easy to use, but give it a shot if you have the time. See what I did there? Camp Snoopy and Fiesta Village have some fun rides that you should check out too, and of course there's Silver Bullet, if you can find it. But it's an incredibly forceful B&M invert, so don't miss out. The Knott single meal deal dining plan is probably going to be cover a couple dollars cheaper than whatever the menu price is, so if you don't already have some convoluted Six Flags Legacy all park passport thing with parking and dining, or just some other season dining plan, the single meal deal will probably be a good deal on a single meal. Anyway, now that you put up with some rambling and some bad jokes, make sure you get one last ride on Ghost Rider before you go home, in the back row, of course, and then go have a coaster adventure.